Okay, I wanted to make this video um, because I want to clarify something. And yeah, you would do the best, just watch the whole video and then make comments or dislikes or whatever. I don't know, there's a lot of structure involved here. I will just talk. I have nothing prepared really, like a list or something. I will just talk from my heart and we will see how it goes. Okay, so you hate humans was something that somebody told me, just very like out of the context, really. It was not in a discussion, it was not in a hateful discussion or anything like that. It was just like we were discussing and this person was like, oh yeah, but you hate people anyway. So I also heard that at some other point that vegans are misanthropic people that favor the lives of animals way more than the lives of people, of humans, because yeah, like people assume that we are so full of hate regarding people because they mistreat animals and all that, and that is just simply not true. I mean, there are some vegans also, like also some people, other people that say they're misanthropes. But for most of the vegan community, this couldn't be farther from the truth. I just say it like it is for me. Veganism is for me, like, first of all, it was the best decision of my life. Like something that I would really put on the first point. And this really is, it is important that I say this for the things that I wanted to say afterwards now. This will be a long video, so I try to make short videos, but this will not happen this time. I really want to get everything out of here. So it was like the most important decision that I made in my life. And why is this? It is not only because now I know, like, oh my god, I do not support cruelty anymore, or yeah, the slaughter and torture and abuse and slavery of animals. I do not support that anymore, so I'm very happy about that, of course. And secondly, going vegan just was an initial impulse that triggered a lot of other processes. And I'm now vegan for 8.5 years, and or 9? Yeah, 8-9 years, something like that. So many things changed in that time. That was like one thing that happened, and then there was like a process, a development, and I like also recently call it the road to Hippie Town. And this is not meant like I don't want to provoke any associations with hippies or whatever, so whatever hippie is or whatever people believe that are hippies, whatever that term means, do not want to discriminate anybody with this. No, I just want to tell you what it is. Like what I associate with being a hippie is like really this love and peace movement, this like being, you know, like in love with everybody, in love with yourself, and all the things that you do with a consciousness about what it will provoke somewhere or in somebody or elsewhere. So and I just want to explain, like, okay, I went vegan, but that doesn't mean that there's like any other thing included, right? Okay, vegan means that I excluded animal products from my diet, from my lifestyle. I was interested in it. I tend to, you know, like learn a lot about nutrition and about yeah, about what role animals have in our life, in our daily life, and how I can avoid supporting their exploitation. So with that said, that was the first point. And then there were, like, for example, after some years I got more aware of the stuff that I eat, so I also changed that for my personal health. But before that, even before that, I recognized, okay, or when I'm vegan and I don't want to support this, so why should I, like, continue buying at stores like H&M, for example, where I know, okay, they also exploit humans like crazy. Why should I contribute to this? Why should I buy anything that comes, like, from China or, like, somewhere from Asia where they tend to exploit the people or where they have very bad working conditions? So at the beginning of going vegan, I was still buying in such stores, not really a lot, but yeah, I was still contributing. And then with time I got more aware and I stopped that, like, just like gradually, and then I stopped it for good. And I went to buy second-hand, like thrift shopping. And I was just, like, getting my clothes from companies that have a fair trade approach, that have a organic approach also. Organic is also something like that. It does not come automatically with going vegan. It does not include that, but you can make a decision to do it in terms of food production, that you want to support organic produce. You want to support organic agriculture. Also in terms of clothes, of course. You want to support the clothes that are ethically made and also more or less environmental sustainable made. So this comes all with it. It's like a whole process, and then you're, like, thinking about other things, like you buy the cheaper shampoos where you know it's vegan and it's also cruelty free, that means without animal testing. But then you also think about, okay, but what does it to the environment when it's, like, you know, like when it goes off in the sewage, what does it to my hair? And you go more natural there, so you choose more natural products. It was that for me. It doesn't have to be the same for you, I'm just saying. But that was, like, that was it for me. So I went more natural there. Then you think about, what about the makeup? Do you really need so much? I never used a lot of it, but I reduced it significantly, especially, for example, nail polish. So yeah, you got my point. There's a lot that comes then when you go vegan. I think it is for most of the people with time that they think about a lot of other stuff, but the initial impulse was veganism. And yeah, other people are telling me also, yeah, there are so many things. Why should I, you know, like, bother with helping the animals when there are so many people suffering? And this is just like, yeah, dude, it's not excluded when you go vegan, not at all. The direct opposite is the case. So we live in a world where we feed our animals the same stuff that we could eat directly. That means that over 50% of the worldwide wheat production and over 80% of the worldwide soy production goes to animal agriculture, right? So we could eat it directly, but we feed it to our cows and pigs and chickens so we can eat them, or, like, yeah, consume what comes out of their bodies. And this is a whole lot of a loss of energy that we have here, right? So there's a lot of energy, caloric energy, that gets lost in the process. So in a world where we have alone 16,000 children every day under 5 years, children under 5 years, 16,000 children per day are dying because they don't have enough to eat. And then we see animal agriculture that consumes the most of our produce that we have in regard to wheat and soy that we could eat directly. And it is also like a disaster when it comes to environmental issues, right? It is animal agriculture is the main cause for climate change, for environmental destruction, for species loss. I will link everything in the description box below. You can watch, for example, Cowspiracy, that focuses a documentary that focuses on the environmental aspects of veganism. And yeah, you have that. So that is always included. Veganism always includes the respect and compassion for every living being on this planet. And it's nothing else. It had always to be like this. So it just focuses in the first place on the animals, because yeah, you know that they are the ones that are losing all the time. Because people just think it's normal to do what they're doing. They think it's normal in case of tradition, of nutrition, of whatever aspect you say. It's always normal that animals, we have to eat them, so they're there that we can eat them, that we can use their bodies, and everything else. So that is resulting in 150 billion animals that are getting killed every year. Every year. And that doesn't even include the animals that die in vivisection or that die in animal shelters. And then, yeah, then of course people see vegans go angry and crazy in discussions, and they think like, oh my god, vegans are angry, hateful, misanthropic people. That's because we are watching like all those documentaries and all those footages of stuff that goes on in slaughterhouses, for example. Stuff like this. We're watching it, and of course you get, I will not deny it, of course you generate hate inside of you. It's like you're getting frustrated, you think like, why are people like that cruel? But it's the same for all of us. It's not only the vegans. I mean, come on, how often have you seen like something in television, the news? How often have you read an article in a newspaper, and the only thing that you could do was shake your head on what people are doing to each other every single day in this world, for all the time. We abuse each other, we torture each other, we kill each other every single day. So you can only imagine what goes on animals that have no right in this world. And this is the thing, we just want, and it's also not of putting some value, like animals are more valuable than like, you know, like humans, or like non-human animals are like more valuable than humans or something like that. It's just the thing. Every single being, every sentient being that can feel pain and misery and joy and love and has a right to live, has a right to be undisturbed. That goes for animals, and that goes for humans as well. So I would just say animals and humans to make it clear. So I know it's like non-human animals and human animals. So okay, just like that. So yeah, with that said, vegans are not misanthropic. I think it is yeah, the chance that you really go there is high, but in the end it is just the same. Veganism is compassion for every single being on this planet, every single being on this planet. It includes the whole planet. It's not even just the sentient beings. It includes the whole planet. So environmental issues, ethical issues, and for your health. So people are concerned about their own health. They're concerned about the health of their family members and friends, other people. This is just why vegans want to show you this all. They want to show you what you can do, all that you can have everything in its vegan form. You know, that you don't have to support all this, that you can detach from all this process, because you won't miss anything when you go. It has only advantages for everybody. So yeah, and also especially for me, the living a yogic lifestyle includes also that. Then I got even more aware of that, because also, like, you know, in speech and action, how often are you like tending to use words like, you know, like fuck you or like asshole or something like that, also to friends, just, I mean, not really like in a mean way or in a fight or something like that. You just say it like that, like a joke. How often do you do that? I mean, what does it imply actually? You know, when you go there and you explore, for example, also the yogic lifestyle, the vegan lifestyle, what combines here is the ahimsa aspect. So it's a very important aspect of yoga. I will talk about that in another video, but it means non-violence. So that means non-violence in every single aspect, in action, in speech, and in thought. And so you only have positive thoughts, respectful thoughts, yeah? You always speak to another person in a respectful way, in a mindful way, and you will always act like this. And this was something that I had to learn also in the way that I'm just learning right now, because I'm swearing a lot. I'm swearing a lot to people, and just in general, and to everything. And when I'm frustrated, and when I go up a mountain, or when something doesn't work, I'm swearing all the time, and just like crazy. Until I realized, okay, that's not good, because sometimes people are affected by it in an adjective way. It's just not respectful. And I learned that all in this long process, and it all started with veganism. It all started with veganism. I did yoga before, but I never connected it like this. When you go vegan, you really connect on a very deep level. And you just cannot help but feeling compassion for everyone around you. For everyone. But yeah, when you discuss with somebody around it, then animals will be your main topic. This is what you are. When you're a vegan activist, you're like vegan for the animals, and that has implications for every single person on the world. You would never want to harm anybody, yeah? Let it be an animal or a human being or whatever. That's just a thing. You would never want to do that. But when you talk about that topic with somebody, of course you get angry, of course you get agitated. With time you maybe control it a little bit more, but yeah, you have all the pictures in your head, and then in this moment you might see the humanity as your enemy, because they're doing this, and if it would not be for humanity, some atrocities like this wouldn't happen. But most of us know that, yeah, we have to you know, like, to fight together against that. I'm not always talking about vegans fighting together against non-vegans. I'm like, all of us have to work together to stop all this, you know? Stop exploitation of whoever is there. Everybody. Yeah. For whatever reason. Just remember that when you... For vegans, remember that when you're discussing with a non-vegan, and vice versa. Always remember that. Always remember where the person is coming from. Always remember that it is all a process. And everybody can end up somewhere eventually. I'm so happy that I made this decision long ago. I'm happy about that in a way, like, I'm glad that it came to me, that I came to this point. That I came to this point where I went vegan. It was because of a good friend of mine that went vegan before, and I was vegetarian, and she was talking to me. And then I made the connection. And I'm so happy that this happened. That I was around the right people. I'm so happy that something that something was, you know, like drawing me there. And this is what makes me happy every day. I know it's a whole lot of work that we have to do, because yeah, it's a big thing. Ending exploitation on the world, ending war on the world, ending suffering and misery, and injustice can't live forever. It will not live forever, that's the thing. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of here. Hope you liked that video. If you did, hit the like button. Comment on this video, please. I would like to have your comments, your ideas, share your perspective on this, share your opinions, and maybe your experiences with this topic. I would like to hear that. I would like to read that. So please do it, and see you tomorrow.